You're not weak, you're just weak-minded. Behind me, you can see I got my Weak Things Break poster, and today I'm going to be talking about why a lot of people go to the gym and never see the results that they want to see. And a lot of things have to do with this, right? Not being consistent, not wanting it bad enough, yada yada. But the thing that I'm really going to talk about today is the fact that you're not weak, you're just weak-minded. You're negative in the gym. You don't want to be at the gym, right? You want the end goal, but you don't want the process along with it. Something that I'd refer to myself saying years ago is somebody asked me, would you rather take a 900 pound squat or 1,000 pound deadlift? And my straight up answer was neither, because I want to achieve both of those things without jumping the gun, right? I'd rather get there myself. I'd rather accept all that has to come with it, all the injuries, all the hardships, everything, so I could build my mental. Because why am I doing this in the first place, right? If you could just walk into the gym and just be a super strong guy for one day, what's the point of doing that, right? Seriously, why would you be lifting at that point? The point of lifting is to get stronger, not to already be strong. You're trying to get stronger. And when you're trying to get stronger, you think anybody could just walk under 900 pounds? Even if they have the strength for it, you think anybody could just walk under 900 pounds and squat it? If they got the 100% the strength for it? Definitely not, right? Because their mind isn't intact. They haven't been through trials and tribulations to get that far. They haven't given up hundreds of thousands of hours literally to get that far. Most people who squat 900 pounds will probably have, I mean, maybe not 100,000 hours, but probably at least 10 to 15,000 hours in the gym minimum, literally minimum, right? So think about this. Somebody who gets that far lives for it, right? So if you're someone in the gym, right, and you find yourself pretty weak and you're like, why am I just so weak? Do you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, why am I not benching 500 pounds yet? Or do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, why am I not benching 225 pounds yet? When do you look in the mirror, and when do you make realistic goals? And then when do you make goals that might never happen in your lifetime, right? For the whole time, for me, I always wanted to bench 500 pounds, right? That was a want. That was a want. That wasn't a need. That wasn't what I was going to do. I always wanted to bench 500 pounds, right? But in my heart, I never had a set goal, like a finalized goal. I never had a finalized goal. I never had this number in my head and I'm just going to quit, right? Now maybe it's 2606 total, because who knows what comes after that, right? But realistically, I never had a number in my head and I was just like, I'm going to quit once I get there. Because if you don't love the process, if you don't love getting stronger, you're never going to get to that goal in the first place. During my process of getting up to the 500-pound bench, not once did I count the cost. Not once did I think, how many more days of bench press am I going to have to do before I'm able to bench this much? How many more days of this or that am I going to be able to do before I get recognized, right? It was always just fall in love with the process. Know that it's going to happen. Pray and know that it's going to happen. If you want it bad enough, it's going to happen. And I've seen this just reoccurring theme in life, honestly. This is not a life advice channel, but look back at your life. What's one thing that you just wanted way too badly, way too fast, but you weren't willing to put in the time and effort? And how did it go, right? The only thing in life, pretty much, that can go correctly going that way is playing the lottery. And that's what, 1 in a million, literally, because you want to get rich and you want to get rich quick. You only want the end goal. You don't want what comes with it. Okay, play the lottery and maybe you'll become 1 in a million, right? Other than that, there's literally nothing in life that can come without learning the process along the way. And even once people do win that million, you see it all the time. People win $1 million from the lottery, they blow it all, and then they're back at their job next year, literally, because they blow it all, right? So it's important to enjoy what it leads to, right? Like when you're in the gym, you shouldn't be thinking, I'm a bench 500 pounds. Maybe one day you'll be like, yeah, one day I'm gonna be like that guy. I'm gonna bench 500 pounds, right? But for right now, I'm focused on myself. For right now, I'm focused on getting that next 10 pounds, and that next 10 pounds, and that next 10 pounds. Because eventually, if you do make it to a 500 pound bench, you do make it to a 405 bench, 315 bench, 225 bench, whatever. Eventually, if you don't count the cost, you don't look at a final goal, you might end up past the goal, right? Now, like I said, I always wanted to bench 500 pounds. I never counted the costs along the way. I could see myself, I can definitely see myself soon benching more than 500 pounds. And that was I never thought about it, right? Because I never put that much thought into it. I just did the work and I stopped counting the cost. And what I'm saying about weak-mindedness is someone who's weak-minded, in my opinion, my view, is someone that wants everything now. They don't want the process. They want it now. And my question to those types of people who want it now, right? See, like, for me, this is the longest thing with making money. I really want to make money just now. And I've paid the price for that so many times, right? Stocks, options. Lost stupid amounts of money playing options because I wanted it now, right? And so my question to somebody who wants it right now is, why do you want it now, right? How are you just gonna, how are you overnight just gonna wake up as the boss, have millions of dollars, and you think people are gonna look at you differently? Because even if you did wake up and you had millions of dollars and you were a boss, you wouldn't know how to act like a boss. You wouldn't know how to handle that money. You wouldn't know how to do none of that. So if you want to just bench 500 pounds, you want to wake up and bench 500 pounds tomorrow. Why do you want to bench 500 pounds tomorrow? What would that change? You want to walk into the gym and you think you're just going to walk around big lats and everybody's just going to look at you and be like, oh, that's that guy. No, and the truth is nobody really cares, to be honest, right? You may get a few congrats, you know. It was really nice. When I hit 500 pounds, a lot of people reached out to me that I hadn't talked to in years, right? And it was really nice. And it made me feel good about myself inside. But I didn't want to bench 500 pounds so I could walk around the gym. Well, I'm that dude who bench 500 pounds, right? Because if that's what you want, if you want to satisfy other people, you'll never satisfy yourself. You'll just keep running in a rabbit hole, right? You'll just keep running on this wheel, and that wheel will never end. Especially, my dad tells me all the time, chasing windmills. I guess there's this movie where this knight chased these windmills that I guess never existed or something. I don't know. Interesting movie. You gotta ask him. But he always tells me I should get that tattooed, a knight spear into a windmill on my back, because I still do have a great tendency of chasing things that aren't really there, right? I think this kid's stronger than me. He really isn't stronger than me, right? I want this bench goal, and it's just like, man, just one day at a time for now, right? I hit 500 pounds, I go back home, I'm like, 600, when 600 coming by. Everybody asked me when 600 coming by, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do it at 19. I think I'll do it at 19. It doesn't matter when I do it. It just matters that I do it, right? Because if it's personal achievement, you'll only ever get the things that you want for inside. You'll never be able to continuously get goals that will satisfy other people, because mainly goals don't satisfy other people. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, that I think it goes something like 99% of people don't care about what you do, and the 1% that do are just showing you compassion, but they still really don't care, right? And you know, while that is harsh and it's probably not entirely true, that's the way you got to look at things, especially in lifting. That's my definition of being weak-minded, is just wanting something now, And I've looked back many times in my lifting, in my life, in business, whatever. I've looked back and I said, I've wanted it way too fast. I wanted it now. I've been weak-minded. Right back when I was trying to hit 405-pound bench press, I hit 365. Right, this is an amazing story. Real quick, I hit 365 pounds on bench raw. It was pretty good. It moved pretty fast, and I always told myself I was going to tell this story. So here we go. But I moved it pretty good, pretty fast. Right, literally 3 days later, I was on a program, and I thought for some reason that the weight of 405, 40 pounds more, was just going to be lifted off of me. Literally, just some great force was going to lift 405 off of me 4 days after hitting 365, right? So I go to the gym, right? It's a different gym than I normally train at. I pull up on a random day. Wasn't even supposed to lift that day. I pulled up to the gym. There's a few of these dudes that I've seen, like my TikTok videos, stuff like that. You know, I knew this one kid. Just because I knew him. I never knew him like that well, but I just knew him. I was like, yeah, my friend was there. It was my friend's gym. And I was like, man, I'm that dude today. I'm going to be that big, bad dude. They're like, what you doing? I was like, oh, I'm benching 405. You know, when people ask you normally, what are you doing? You normally respond with, I'm benching, I'm squatting. No, I'm benching 405. That's why I told her, I'm benching 405, benching 405. I have my elbow wraps. I'm like, man, this elbow wrap's going to make this go up. I go on this bench. Perfect bench. This is one of the best setups that I ever benched on in my life. 1 moves good, 2 moves good, 3 moves good. And typically where I take like a jump like 345, 365, right? That would have been good for me. I go 315 to 365, which was my PR. I jumped 50 pounds to my PR and I missed 365. The day I said I was going to do 405, I missed it. All these people were looking at me. I felt like such a clown because all I wanted was the outcome. I was weak-minded. I wasn't ready to put in the work to get that extra 40 pounds. I thought that 40 pounds was just going to be gifted on me, right? I really thought I had it too. I really thought, and I missed the last warm-up. Think about how crazy that is. I missed 40 pounds away from where I told people I was going to be benching that day. I then retook the 365 and I missed it again in front of all these people, right? You know, it might have been like 7, 8 people, but that's really freaking embarrassing when there's a bunch of people standing around the bench watching you miss your last warm-up when you said you're going to bench 405 pounds. And that's my definition of being weak-minded. You need to want to love the process. You need to want to go with the process. You can't walk in the gym thinking about the end goal. If you think about the end goal, you probably won't achieve it. Simple, right? So that's my video today on being weak-minded. You're not weak, you're just weak-minded. Lock in, love the process, trust the process, literally fall in love for the process. Die for the process, right? If you are so obsessed with something, you love doing it so much, right? You still do your regular life, like I've said before, but you love doing this one thing so much that you would literally die for it, right? That's the level that you need to get on, just for the process, not for the end goal, not for the beginning, not for the fame, not for the clout, not for nothing, just because it's what you love to do. And that's really one of the reasons, too, that I picked powerlifting over football is just because I love powerlifting. I love the process, right? When I was at football, I would hate to stay on that field, man. Oh, my gosh. We'd be out. I'd try, if I could, I would be the last one on the field without being late. I'd be the first one off of it. Bro, I would love to be the first one. I'd be the first one to smash my pads off and get off that field, right? That's not a bad thing, but football just wasn't for me. That's how I learned it wasn't for me. Now, what next video is going to be about is spending time in the gym. Now, when I've been in the gym, I could sit around the gym all day. I could talk to people all day. I could lift people off all day. I could just spot people all day. I could just be there all day. I just love being there because I love the process. I would die for the process, right? I'm not focused on the end goal. So like I said, next video will be about time in the gym. How long should you spend in the time and how long should you spend in the gym, and is it okay to spend more or less time in the gym? So I'm going to answer that next video. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below too, what do you want to see next? I love answering questions and I love making videos about what you guys want to see. So that's Blake Went signing out. Peace.